She didn't work. That's the story everyone tells about your grandmother. And it's completely wrong. She worked a job that would cost you a fortune to replace today. Childcare, cooking, cleaning, driving, nursing, running the entire budget. Full-time, no days off. Hire that out now, and a credible replacement cost estimate runs around $125,000 a year, just to cover the core job she did. So the real question was never why she didn't have a job. It's how one paycheck covered a house, a car, and kids, while she did all of that for free. And why you, I mean, doing everything right, 2 incomes, a degree, still can't pull off what they did on one. There's a single number that explains the whole thing. I'll put it in front of you in about 6 minutes, and then I'll show you what to actually do with it. Stick around. Let's build the household. 1965. One earner. The typical single earner family brought in about $6,900 a year, and on that, here's what was normal. A house, a car, kids, and a little left over to save. Now watch what happens when we price the house. Not in dollars, dollars lie to you. We're going to price everything in hours of your life. A typical home in 1965 ran about $20,000. At what that one earner made per hour, that house cost around 6,000 hours of work. Just under 3 years of full-time labor. One person. For a house. Hold on to that number, 6,000 hours. We're coming back to it. Now the easy move here is to say, well, everything just got more expensive. That's inflation. Get over it. But inflation is a trap. It hides the real story. Because not everything rose at the same speed. Some things got cheaper. And the things that went wild? They're exactly the things a family can't skip. Adjust that 1965 income straight up for inflation, and it lands around $70,000 in today's money. Sounds livable, right? Here's the problem. To actually reproduce that 1965 life, the house, the one income, the security, most estimates say you wouldn't need 70 grand. You'd need closer to 80 on one salary. Why the gap? 4 things. And only 4 things really matter. Housing, healthcare, education, childcare, the big 4. Over the long run, these didn't rise with inflation. They lapped it, by a mile. Home prices are up more than 1,000% since the 70s. Family health coverage now runs a household around $27,000 a year, a cost that barely existed as a line in the family budget back in 1965. And childcare, the thing that used to be free because someone was home doing it, now averages around $13,000 a year per kid, in a lot of cities over 20. So here's the con. The stuff that got cheaper, TVS, phones, clothes, that's what they point to when they say you've got it good. Look how cheap a television is now. Okay, you can't live in a television. The things you actually need to build a life, those are the ones that ran away from your paycheck. Okay, the number I promised you? That house that cost 6,000 hours of work in 1965? Today, the same tier house costs around 13,000 hours. About 6.5 years of full-time work. Same house, same job, more than double the hours of your life. Your grandparents achieved the single income life. House young, one salary, a pension waiting at the end. Millennials delayed it. 2 incomes, a house maybe in their 40s, if at all, debt on top. And Gen Z? They're not even trying for it. They're routing around it entirely. Rent forever, gig stack, skip the kids, call it a lifestyle. And a lot of that gets sold as freedom, as choice. But line it up and it's the same thing, shrinking, generation after generation. It's not that people stopped wanting the house and the family. It's that the math that made it reachable got quietly dismantled, and each generation just lowered what it expected instead. That's why it feels like you're stuck. You're not imagining it. You're standing at the bottom of a staircase somebody removed the first 3 steps from. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you 1965 was paradise, because it wasn't. That single income world ran on somebody's unpaid labor, usually a woman who often didn't get much of a choice about it. A lot of families were locked out of it entirely by who they were. And plenty of things really are better now. The medicine, the technology, the fact that more people get to choose the life they actually want. So this isn't everything was better back then. It's narrower and more useful. The cost of a stable life got dramatically heavier, and pretending that's a personal failure instead of a structural one is the lie that keeps you stuck. So here's what actually helps. 2 things, quickly. 1, stop optimizing the small stuff. The coffee, the subscriptions, the takeout. That's noise. The whole gap is the big 4, housing, healthcare, education, childcare. Every dollar of attention you spend there is worth 100 spent skipping lattes. 2. Before you make the big call, run the actual math, especially the one every young family gets wrong. Does the second income actually get you ahead, or does it mostly vanish into the childcare that makes it possible? I built a little tool that runs that exact math, your salary, your city, your year, and shows you the answer in hours of your life instead of dollars. It's linked below. No hoops. And if you want the full breakdown of that second income trap, the one that quietly decides whether a whole generation can afford to have kids, that's the next video. It's the one that changed how I look at all of this. Either way, now you know the number. 6,000 hours became 14,000. Go do something with it.